Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 20th, and today we are going to talk about the importance of fall. And I get so excited when I talk about fall. And so, with that, um, first of all, I would like to take a second and hear from all of you as to what is the best thing that's happened to your Pampered Chef business this past week.
I attended a training last night for the first time in a while.
Have ya? Which training was that, Barb?
I was on the call last night. The one that she's gonna do 201 for table.
With Christy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the big tip you got out of it?
I like how she says to talk to your host in terms of number of orders, not dollar amounts.
Okay. Yeah, that's really a good tip. Good. I'm glad you liked it. And I think then you missed it, but Leslie, what was your favorite tip from it?
From her meeting or from the call. I liked the fact that she's contacting the host or the guests every day. I contacted them, but I wasn't talking to them every day. So that kind of put things more into perspective for me.
Did you get the feeling that was more of a discussion?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's awesome, Leslie. And then I think you saw the video. You said lots of questions, but what was the main thing that you got out of it?
I'm only halfway through.
Okay.
And I'm intrigued about her live Zoom.
She does live.
Yeah, like I said, if she's doing several parties a week, how does she schedule that all? And does she do it separately or
that'll be a good question for her, but I know she goes live every day and makes dinner on her page in her I don't know if it's in her VIP page or her business page. So I don't know if she videos them and uses it but I do know
she also, Karen said she doesn't do parties that many a week always. She does enough parties to get her dollar amount. She said there were some weeks she doesn't even do a party.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she said she contacts the host of her party and before the party begins and asks what day would be good for her to go live. So she's kind of leaving it up to the host if she wants to do a live or not, and then they schedule a day and time if she does want to do a live.
And I think it's only like 15 minutes, Len. I don't think she does a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So she did 15 minutes, at 7, 15 minutes at 8, if she had 2 parties that one night, so we'll find out though. She's an open book and she's great. So, but I'm just thrilled, I'm thrilled. I just think, again, I am personally myself, I can only speak for myself. I am becoming more and more receptive to it as I, get more involved in it. And of course it's like learning anything new. And I don't know if I've ever had this example with you before, but I remember, well, it's probably 20 years ago. I heard about these people at their shows where they were recruiting a ton of people, and they were doing a recruiting talk at the party. And what they would do is they would kind of stop and say, ask me questions. And when I first heard about it, I thought it sounded like a commercial. I thought you were stopping your party and it sounded like, okay, maybe you should sign up with Pampered Chef and, what questions do you have? And it was like, I tried it and I just didn't like it at all. And then Maureen Kimball started doing it her way, and she was recruiting a ton of people. And I'm like, crap, what is it about this? So what happened is I tried it, and I tried it for 20 shows, and I figured out my own way of doing it where I could make it part of my show and not feel like I was stopping. I had just figured out but it took me 20 times for me to figure out what worked for me. And quite frankly, I still have a hard time, even though I haven't done a lot of live shows, you know, in the past years. It is kind of like such a part of what I do that it's hard for me not to do it now. You know, and I think that that's, and there's just, again, certain parts of our businesses where sometimes the things that bugs us the most, you know, if I see it working for other people, I'm like, you know, I have to be flexible. And so anyway, that's how I'm looking at that. And when and again, I know, you know, I think Christy's been in Pampered Chef for a year longer than me. And I hear her say that, you know, this is the easiest her job has ever been. Like, you know, I kind of want to hear that. So anyway, it was really, really a great workshop. And then what I would really like to do, oh, I probably should tell you what my favorite thing is. Well, I came back from vacation, rested and relaxed. So yeah, here we go. And but I do want to recognize the green team so far this month for the month of August, and that is the Ferrera team, the Kimmel team, and let's see, we have, come on, change screens, the Erin Nicole Chase team, the Lori Coleman team, the Alexis Blake team, the Sonia Carter team, the Bonnie Fickett team. And so we're about, and of course the Josephus team, we're about 50% green this month. So we've got a little bit of work to do depending on what team you're on. And, you know, every dollar of sales, every order, every new team member, every party really, really matters. So, but great job for those that have done it. And we're cheering on for those of you that have not. So with that, I really did want to just unpack talking about fall a little bit more. And Lynn, how many falls have you been through now with Pampered Chef?
Oh, boy. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. This will be my 9th.
Okay, your ninth fall. And and Leslie, how about you?
This will be my second.
Excellent. And Barb, how about you? Is it your second? She may have left first for a minute. Well, this is my 32nd.
I just couldn't unmute it. This is
Oh, that's
my second fall.
Okay, so you and Leslie are similar. I get really excited about fall, and you know, and Lynn's shaking her head. Lynn, why do you agree with me?
Oh my gosh, I love fall. First of all, I love Christmas.
Okay.
And I love fall. It's my birthday, you know, I love fall. And sales are just crazy. I mean, I haven't had a bad fall yet.
It's kind of like the fish are jumping into the boat, right?
Yeah.
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 That's why I get excited about it too. Any other reasons why we get excited about fall? Not just the pumpkin spice thing.
I always tend to like the fall products better than the spring ones.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And Elena, and you're so right. You know, I think that when you know, you feel like, especially, and I'm again, my Michigan background is coming out here because right now I'm still dying, but you want to start turning on the oven, you know. And again, here I am even in Florida, and I feel like I want to make some cookies. You know, I don't want, you know, it's 90 degrees out. I don't really want to turn on my oven, but I want some cookies, and I want some meatballs, and I want to start making some things and turning on that oven. And I guess if I'm feeling like that even in Florida, that maybe everybody feels that way. I mean, do you think so? You think that school's starting, you know, and getting into that routine of making dinners and lunches and that kind of stuff? What part do you think that plays for our customers? Lucy?
A big part, they're looking for things to make it easier.
They are, aren't they? Comfort foods, sweet favorites, already mentioned cookies. I'm wanting to get thin, and I want cookies too. It just is so hard. You know how it is when you come back from vacation, you think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to eat ever again. But so I think that is really important. So tell me, how many of you, do any of you have as many shows on your calendar for August that you want?
Not for August.
And how about for September? How's September looking?
September and October look great.
Okay, so you're getting there. And do you feel like you have control over your calendar? You know, and you know, I make this transition, you know, from having a live business as opposed to having a virtual business where in some ways I think the virtual business is so much easier to you know schedule your life around. Whereas, I mean, I remember, you know, I would mark off, you know, when I think I mentioned when I worked full time, I would do a show on Thursday night and a show on Saturday morning. That was my 2 shows a week, and you know, so it was easy for me. Or I might mark off, you know. In fact, I just bought a new calendar. I don't know if you noticed a couple weeks ago, Tuesday chewed up my calendar. So I bought a new calendar, and I mean, you know, this is so, you know, I always mark it up like this, and then in September, of course, is looking, um, you know, yeah, this is more like what my schedule usually looks like. And you know, green is when I'm working, and pink are either personal things, or appointments or that kind of thing. But so I mean, it is important with a virtual business as well. And I wonder, do you take the time to time map your calendar?
No.
You know, because we just earned these, right? Um, so, okay, it's kind of like, I mean, do you see the benefit of doing that? Do you see the benefit of time mapping? And if you understand, you know, I mean, it really is just marking off, you know, deciding when you're going to work. And if you do it, how beneficial is it? And if you don't do it, why not? I'll start calling on people. Then I think you do to a certain extent.
I pretty much am Monday through Friday working. I take time for all the meetings I can.
Mhm.
And I find the thing that helps me more, Dawn's 5-day hard challenge. That's the thing that keeps me going, keeps me on task, is getting those 10 two-way contacts a day.
Excellent. And you know what? I am so glad you mentioned that because I've not thought about that since I've been back from vacation. And I definitely that's exactly what I need to get up in the morning and think about. So thank
Yeah.
you for that. So in some ways, I mean, we can go from kind of the ridiculous to the sublime when it comes to I mean, there are people, and I'm thinking of, is it one of the nationals does it? I mean, where she, you know, she schedules when she gets up, how long she exercises, how long she takes for her devotions, you know, and you know, then what time to get is to get the kids up, and what time to make breakfast. And when she has a busy family like that, I mean, they, you know, they did that. And I remember when Dawn did that. I remember when she was raising her kids, she did that. And I never looked at that closer. Again, it's where I see people being successful and realizing I didn't realize that Dawn plans so much. And I thought, well, you know what, I need to plan better. You know, Barb, how do you do it? How are you at planning and using your time? Because you work full time too, don't you?
Yeah, I work full time and then 5 kids at home, 4 dogs, a cat, and but I haven't been. I haven't. I was doing it when my husband's schedule was normal and like I knew when he was working so I could plan, but his schedule is flip flopping all over the place, and my ADHD just isn't allowing me to like work with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Um, like this calendar in between the monthly, it has, you know, the day, it doesn't have the times where you could put the times in. Um, but I really think it's important. And again, I don't care I do, I mean, I'm not saying I don't care, but I think it's irrelevant how busy you are.
Right.
I think what you need to do for a week is really take the time to think about how you spend your time. Because, and I have to tell you, I mean, this is coming from a girl who I don't like anybody telling me what to do, including myself.
Mhm.
And I have to fight with that. I have to fight with that because I am my own boss. And if I'm my own boss, I can do what I want when I want. Well, you know what? Again, our time is flexible, but it's not optional.
Right.
So I think that when you take time to stop to timestamp, really think about your business and think about what you do, you realize there are pockets of time that you can save yourself time. And what happens then, you create more time for doing something you really enjoy doing. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're not reading a novel, when's the last time you read a novel? When's the last time you could, what is one of the most luxurious things that you can do for yourself? Tell me. If you had an hour, or 2 hours to do once a week, whatever you wanted to do, it could be nothing. What would that
Right.
be? Lucy, stop it.
Get a massage.
Get a massage. Excellent. What about you, Leslie?
Just do whatever I wanted for that day, for that hour. Whether
Yeah.
if it was going shopping or reading a book, which I haven't done in a long time, which I've wanted to do. Going and getting a manicure, anything.
Mhm. Excellent. Read a book. How about you, Lynn?
Go hang at the pool.
Yes, I kind of knew the answer to that.
I'll do that when I get back to Florida.
If you ever want to
And I
come down,
will.
if you ever want to come down for a long weekend, just come on, let me know. Pool's always open. But again, I think it's important to really think about that. I think that you can. It also makes you more efficient. I'm not looking to tell you to find more time to work. That's not what I want. Um, you know, Leslie, you're retired pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Except for, and I mean, here you're struggling to find time to read a book. I mean, I don't mean that critically. I'm just saying, life goes fast, you guys.
Yes, it does.
You know?
And, everybody says that once you're retired, you don't understand how you were able to do things when you were working. And my
Mhm.
husband and I talk about that all the time. It's like, where did the day go when it's gone?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So, and I call it living life on purpose. I call it living life on purpose. So, and the whole reason for this is again, these things that you're thinking about, of course, our customers are thinking about, especially as time is so important when school starts and everything's kind of gearing up for the fall. So, what can we do to help our customers right now? And I'm going to kind of give you a hint and what I'm kind of thinking about, and I'm kind of going back to some old training I used to do about you know um, comfort food, $2 a person menus, you know, and I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the economy the way it is, and do you think that we can help people with $2 person menu these days? Lynn, what weeknight meals can we help people make easy? And let's say $2. Maybe it's going to be 2.25, but what we're doing is we're making an effort to make them inexpensive. What kind of things can we help them with?
Spaghetti is always inexpensive.
Excellent. Do we do spaghetti? Do we offer salad? Do we try to have a little dessert with that? How do we?
I would be, for me, God, sorry about my dogs.
I-
For me,
I
I would
hear
be
you.
like, cause I make spaghetti, like I literally make a giant vat of it and then I freeze it. So for me, it would be the cheaper meal, but also like a make ahead
Mhm.
thing. Cause my sauce is all from scratch, so.
I do
I
that
hear
too.
ya. I do that even for myself. So spaghetti would be one. And again, I'm gonna, again, I want to kind of I like to think of things in terms of meals. What would be an inexpensive dessert to go with spaghetti?
Brownies.
Brownies, okay. Love that. Okay, what else? What's another go-to meal?
I'm
Chili
sending
and
out,
cornbread.
I'm sending out in my recipe club tomorrow that sloppy Joe stuffed peppers recipe.
I'm making that for
Ooh.
I'm making that tomorrow for Live at 5.
Are you?
Yeah. You made them already?
No.
I will say that I've got the peppers were here. Of course, they're expensive at our little store. I have to, when I go into town, I'm not going into Aldi, but green peppers are $1.29. And red peppers are $2.99. So they're getting green peppers tomorrow. I have some other peppers I need to use up, but no, that is, I mean, I think that is a really great idea. And I tell you what's really kind of cool about that. And again, if you're doing it as a demo too, when I started with Pampered Chef, the big deal was getting peppers that would stand up. Now they mentioned that can slice off the bottom to even out a little bit, but if you get a pepper that has 4, I think they call it a female pepper, and a pepper that has 3 is a male pepper. Those 4 stand up. So when I first started with Pampered Chef, I would go into the produce department. I would put peppers on the floor, and like make a big deal out of it. I'd make it, and people would say, "What are you doing?" I go, well, "Did you know that there's male peppers?" And really, I start these conversations in the produce department. But I mean, it makes your demo kind of fun. Anyway, I digress a little bit on that.
I'm talking in my recipe club, I'm saying how it's a great meal prep meal because you can freeze it. And so then I'm talking about the long loaf pans and how you could do half your peppers in one and half in the other, bake one, freeze one.
Brilliant.
Mhm.
And then I also added my video in there of my cheesy potatoes sliding down the pan.
That's like famous. That's like great. And I think the cornbread is going to go. I'm going to do the cornbread tomorrow with that.
It's so good.
Okay.
I tested it. 5 days later, it was still moist.
Really, really. Of course, I'm not sure. I mean, how many pieces you get out of that and how much that costs, that kind of thing. But the great thing, of course, you can always get it for free. What else? Who's made egg roll in a bowl?
I love it.
Yeah, egg roll in a bowl. What meat do you like to use for that, Lynn?
I use turkey sausage.
You use turkey sausage? Okay. Like breakfast turkey sausage?
Ground sausage, yeah.
Okay. I used to always do it. I like to do, I've done it with stir-fried chicken breast pieces, but I do like it with pork sausage. I'm surprised that I liked it with pork sausage. Egg roll in a bowl, and then rice could go with that, right? Rice is cheap. And what would be a good dessert to go with that? We didn't talk about a dessert for the sloppy joes.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
Leslie muted. Like Leslie was saying something, she's muted.
Oh, unmute yourself, Leslie, so we can hear you.
I was talking to my husband.
Oh, we may not want to hear that. No.
While I was yelling because the TV was so loud.
I'm trying to think of something, something else that uses different things other than burger.
Our favorite meal is using the pad thai seasoning packet,
Oh, fantastic.
a pound of ground turkey. And I just make brown the ground turkey, throw the pad thai seasoning in as it says on the package, use lettuce wraps, chopped up red peppers, chopped up peanuts, chopped up green onions.
So,
And
so
that's-
lettuce wraps.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what, Lynn, I forget about that. I forget to incorporate in fact, when I come to do the my customer appreciation night in Traverse City, I'm really thinking I should use one of those 4 things. You know, because they are so good.
I
Um,
love the pad thai. It's our favorite.
I love it too. I think it's as good as any restaurant you go to.
Better, I think.
Okay, let's come up with one more.
Maybe one of our soup mixes.
Which one do you like?
I like the tortilla.
The
And I
tortilla?
like the
Chicken
minestrone.
tortilla.
Yeah, and I like the minestrone. I do not like the new one. The roasted red pepper.
Oh, okay, you don't? Okay. I
No
always thought
flavor.
it was runny.
No flavor and very watery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would go good with like a homemade bread, which isn't expensive to make it yourself, like a nice, like a hearty bread, like our beer,
Or
or
beer
our,
bread.
our
Yeah,
beer
beer
bread, like with, I did it once, with like salsa in it. You know what I mean? So it was like a heartier kind of thing.
That would go good with the sloppy joes too.
Mhm. Yeah, and an easy dessert would be, our caramel latte bread or our chocolate banana bread.
Hmm. Which one did they just discontinue?
Dulce de leche.
Dulce de leche.
Uh,
I know, I know. Well, I want to mention to you that tomorrow I'm going to be making the nice cream. Have you done the nice cream in the blender? It uses
Mhm.
8 strawberries, 2 bananas, and a half a cup of milk, oat milk or almond milk or regular milk. So I think that is, something that's, you know, pretty inexpensive, pretty inexpensive and healthy. So, but so these are the kinds of things that people are looking for right now. And again, I'm going to encourage you to find, and maybe it might not be a recipe we even talked about. I'm going to encourage you to find a recipe that you can get excited about. Um, and uh, and this is why I love talking about this because I mean, like, here I'm thinking about I'm going to do the sloppy Joe stuffed peppers, and then Lynn just gave me, really great idea on using the 2, doing those 2 little pans. So pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Let me see, what else did I want to talk about? Also, I want to mention, and I was having problems. I came into my office after dinner, and I was working on Table, trying to post. If you go into Table and you look at the outlines, do you ever just go in to look at the outlines to see what's in them? The comforts. There's great ideas in there too. So I mean, and here's recipes that we didn't talk about. Like they're talking about um, the easy mini meatloaves, brown butter tortellini, deep dish meatball pizza. Has anyone ever made the deep dish meatball pizza?
Mm-mm.
So that I think that is those are things are worth trying. I think the comfort food is a really big deal in the winter, and if you can think of ideas that are new, something that's new, and I think the taste buds and also our meal mixes are great. I mean, have you made that? Have you used the scampi mix with chicken?
Mm-mm.
It's delicious, really delicious, you guys.
hmm.
Hi,
Hi.
Kathy. And again,
Hi.
hi. And some people will use chicken thighs. I am not a big chicken thigh person, but of course, chicken thighs are, less expensive, and that's a good tip for people who, like chicken thighs. But
Karen, I don't like dark meat either, but I used boneless, skinless chicken thighs it was for 2 chicken recipes this week. Half and half. I needed shredded chicken for both. And I really couldn't taste the difference when it was shredded up in there. And I don't like it. Like I'm crazy like that. If you put it on my plate, I won't eat that.
Mhm. I'll eat a chicken thigh, but I won't eat it off the bone. I mean, there's so much left
Nope.
on the chicken, so there's so much left on it that, I mean,
Nope.
I will, but.
No, I
but-
agree with you. They're veiny and they're nasty. No, thank you.
But again, this is just another, the scampi makes this delicious. And of course, I get shrimp here all the time. I can have shrimp delivered to my house. And, but chicken is a great idea. I will say, and maybe Lynn, you know more about this, the Tuscan chicken herb mix. I forget, I always forget exactly.
I
Huh?
haven't used it much. I haven't used it much.
Have you done the sheet pan recipe with it?
Uh-uh.
It's delicious. It is delicious. By the way, okay, so here, the recipe I made, I came home from vacation wanting this recipe I made just before I went on vacation for Live at 5, and it was the anapasti pasta salad.
Recording
And-
in progress.
And why was I saying? Oh, the recipe calls for that Tuscan chicken mix in it, in the dressing.
Hmm.
And I am telling you, I came home, made, I didn't have salami, I did a couple things I didn't have to put in it, but absolutely delicious. And again, when you can find these recipes, something that's exciting to you, I think it helps, book your fall. And you do want to take advantage. And so, we talked a little bit about planning, because I want you to think about planning when you want your parties to happen. How many parties do you want a week? And, is your goal, excuse me, it's kind of like Christy talked last night. She wasn't talking about how much sales for the party, but how many orders for the party. For you, is it how much money you want to make, or is it how many shows? And do you have goals for those shows in terms of, do you want to make $800 a month, or do you have to make $800 a month? And I think that's important to really think about when you're looking at your calendar. What do you want? And on a scale of 1 to 10, you need to think about how much do you want that to happen? Are you going to be committed to that? Because this is the time, and I'm going to, again, if you're using a dartboard as a goal for your business, and let's just say your goal bullseye is 10 parties a month, well, the next ring might be 8, and the next one might be 6, and the next ring might be 4, And are you going to be happy hitting that outer ring? Is that going to be enough? Or do you want to hit that bullseye? And you have to keep trying to hit that bullseye. But again, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to making that happen? And there's a lot of reasons for the fall, for you to make those goals happen. Because first of all, the fish are jumping into the boat. Like Lynn said at the beginning, she talked about how business is easier in the fall. It is. So you're smart to take advantage of that. And if you're not sure what if I could promise you a perfect business and you could have as many shows on your calendar as you want, how many would that be? What is your magic number? And this is really the time to work that magic number and get that going, because you could also, there's a lot of things you can figure out then. You can figure out, hey, am I happy with this number? Am I meeting the goals that I want to, meet with this number? And you're going to be getting bookings from those numbers. And if you're not, you're going to be learning how to get bookings from those, because this is where, again, when you're learning French and you want to use French, you're going to get good at French. Same with your business. If you want to be better at your business is going to gain, and you're going to get better with it. You're going to learn more and more things as you go along with it. There's a lot of liquidity in, that success. So, and then what happens is when you have a strong fall, it's going to help work you into a strong January. And then when you have a strong January, you tend to have a strong year. You're building that consistency, you're building that momentum, and this is the time to do it. This is the time to jumpstart your business if you feel you need to jumpstart it or you need to get it into a good, even, consistent keel. So I hope that that makes sense to you. Any comments or questions? What are some of the things that come to your mind now when you're reaching out for your contacts? Do you have a recipe? You know, what, you know, for me, it's a recipe, and I hate to put words in your mouth, but what gets you excited? Are you excited about the Brilliance new cookware, bakeware? You know, have you got your cheesy potatoes sliding off of it? You know, so I'd like to hear what do you think is most exciting for you to market again? Because what I'm hoping I'm helping you do is to create enthusiasm. Because when you're approaching your business and you're approaching your contacts with enthusiasm, you become irresistible. And that is your mission, should you choose to accept it. You want to become irresistible in your own way. And you are irresistible in your own way when you let yourself shine through and you let your enthusiasm shine through and you let your love of Pampered Chef shine through and you let your approach to service with heart shine through, because you all have that too. And that is, you know, that's what sets you apart.
What I'm doing right now is concentrating on a product. Like last week, it was the Rapid Prep mandolin. So I reached out to everybody who's purchased a Rapid Prep mandolin and I said, hey, I just want to check in, make sure you're still loving it. And I found a bunch of, you know, it's zucchini season. And if you don't grow them, you probably have neighbors leaving them on your porch. I found a bunch of great zucchini recipes that would work well, you know, prepping them with your Rapid Prep mandolin. Would you like me to send them to you?
Love that.
And
I
then
like that. That's good.
yes, I sent them the link to all the recipes. And I said, and as a reminder, if you know, want a little, you know, 101 on your Rapid Prep mandolin, here's the workshop I did earlier in the year. And it's a landing page with a bunch of videos I had made.
Mhm.
The next one I'm going to do is the ice cream maker, because I just did that ice cream nachos workshop. So I put all the recipes together in a landing page. I'm going to ask them if they want that. And I also, my next one will be the ceramic egg cooker, because I had a customer reach out with a great tip. So I thought I would give them the tip and the e-cookbook if they want it. But it's been the best way for me to create these two-way conversations that I have found.
Are you going to share that tip with us?
The ceramic egg cooker?
Right? I'm over here like, hello.
We're here.
Let me find
Ah,
it. Let me
it's like
find-
posting a picture of a recipe and like that, giving it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
We'll give you a second to find that. Thanks for sharing that, Lynn. What else? What do you find exciting? And who wants to go next?
I'm not that organized when it comes like what Lynn just said. But
Yeah, what are you excited about though?
cooking, I mean, you know, Karen, it's hard when you're just cooking for yourself. And so I don't cook near as much. So I literally find friends, like I'm taking dinner tomorrow night to a friend. You know, so I'm trying to do that more, and that incorporates a live, but mine's not as lovey-feely as hers.
But it is in your own way, Kathy. I know you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I don't gear anything towards any particular products. Like I'm going to do a live after this because I'm going to make a strawberry pie and I'm going to show the cup slicer and, you know, things like that. But, I can't say that I just gear it towards one particular item. Now the coffee pot lately, now I take that back. The coffee pot, I have really been just taking off with that and running with it. I love that. Have not sold the first one yet, but I did a live last week with the cold brew pitcher and I did sell some of those. So I just feel like if I keep on talking about the coffee pot, and especially with the fall coming up and winter coming up, that's going to be, to me, more appealing to customers. I think they're going to want that more. So I'm going to really focus on that.
I think that's gonna focus, I think that's gonna be a booker. I think you wanna book, you're gonna book with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, love that. Great. Leslie, is there anything you're getting excited about for fall?
Offhand, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Again, I'm not a planner and a person like Lynn that can come up with those good things to
I
do.
know hers was so good.
Well, you know, the thing about it is you can steal anybody's idea, all right? This is why we're here.
That's
I
true.
can guarantee you I'll be stealing some ideas.
True.
I do have to say that I am excited to get ready in October to go back to Florida. I want to do a bunch of workshops and cooking things at our RV resort.
And that's
Um,
an idea you did come up with. You shared that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm trying to come up with more ideas for that and maybe do 1 or 2 a month
Hmm.
while we're down there. So we'll see how that goes.
I wonder what you can do in Michigan before you leave.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. All right. All right. Everybody's really turning on their oven there. We're still not turning our oven down here. Okay.
Yeah, really.
Thanks, Leslie.
Yep.
That's the thing I'm doing too. I had the ice cream nachos workshop. I'm gonna do
Oh.
a pasta one in September. So I have to learn how to use the pasta maker. I haven't done it yet. And then I'm famous for my pumpkin rolls. So I'm gonna do a pumpkin roll workshop too in November.
Oh, I would love that. I would love to come to that.
Oh, I want to learn from you. I love pumpkin rolls.
So I heard pumpkins rolls ship really well.
That's exactly right. There you go.
There you go. And
I
Barb, last,
would like
I
I
found
would
my
like to be
customer
included
tip.
in that, Lynn.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. So my customer's tip for the ceramic egg
Okay.
cooker is if you
Yes.
add either a teaspoon of cream cheese or a tablespoon of cottage cheese to the egg recipe and then cook it for 3 minutes, it has the same exact flavor and texture as the egg bites at Starbucks.
it does.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm sure that most people would love that.
You don't like eggs.
I love eggs. Oh, wow.
I will say
Okay.
I do like the egg white spinach wrap at Starbucks. I will say I do really like that. With avocado, I think there's avocado.
Did you see Chris Madden's video today? She made an egg dish in the new long loaf pan, and then it just flipped right out. Not
No.
one bit of egg stuck.
Oh my gosh.
And Chris Madden's.
Yeah.
Mhm. Excellent. Okay, Barb, we need to hear from you.
Then I'm the most excited about playing with new toys. Like I like to play with all of the new things when they come out. I want the pasta stuff because I've always wanted to make my own pasta. So that'll be fun. But the craziest thing the other day, I had the little garlic slicer out, the one that came out last spring, like the cup slicer, the garlic one.
Yeah.
And for some reason I've had it all this time and we use it a lot. And I never realized that the green things on the top and the bottom come off. So when your garlic is stuck in those little grates, it comes right out. I was like a kid in the candy store. I was like, look at this. I was like, do you guys notice this? Did you know it did this? And they're like, Mom, it's just a little plastic thing. Go away.
Just turn on your video, man. Share that excitement. That's good, girl.
Right?
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Well, I hope that you've gotten a tip or two that will help you set up your fall. And again, I really encourage you to take the exercise of thinking about how you spend your time, because you're going to find that you have pockets of time that you could be more efficient with. And again, the goal is, and only you can look at your schedule and be critical, and critique yourself in terms of, are you spending your power hour a day? Are you doing your hard 5 a day? But the goal is to find some time for yourself as well. We want you know, how many, I am certainly not your boss, but how many jobs do you go to that they're not saying, you take some time for yourself. We want you to have a well-rounded life. And that's what we want to live with Pampered Chef. We want to have a business we can be proud of. And the great thing about it is we can run a great Pampered Chef business, and it doesn't have to be 6 or 8 hours a day. It can be 2 or 4 days, 2 or 4 hours a day. If you choose to spend more, you absolutely can, but it doesn't have to be that way. And of course, if you find that, you're spending too much time, then we can talk about that too. But, do your power hour, do your hard 5 every day, walk out of your office, pat yourself on the back and say, Karen's proud of you. Because I am, So, are you excited about the Home Kitchen Live tonight?
Very, always.
Yeah, I always pick up some kind of a tip, so there'll be a little bit of a little bit of a, little place for you to fill out for the.
And sorry I was late. I had an electrician have to come here and help me with my doorbell. Sorry.
You had to have an electrician for your doorbell?
Yeah, I have a camera doorbell, and
yeah.
ADT is saying I need an electrician. Now the electrician is saying I need back to ADT. So,
And that makes me, you're the monkey in the middle. I hate that.
exactly. And then he stood there and talked forever. And I didn't want to do all the small talk because I knew y'all were here. And so I sent my daughter a text. I said, call me now. So I was able to get him to go away. He told me all about his childhood and growing up. And I'm like, do you have a family you need to get home to? He goes, no, I'm single. And I'm like,
there you go. There you go, Kathy. He's dealing you, girlfriend. He's dealing you.
Nope.
Electricians make good money. No.
He's 15 years younger than me.
That's okay. There.
Get him, girl.
Call him back. Call him back.
No. I'm like, oh, God.
Anyway.
And then I just ran as soon as I locked the door, ran and grabbed my computer and got on here.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. And so, yeah, so we will go and watch our, I have my little girl back.
Right.
I ran out and opened up the door so she could run out.
Oh,
The door's open. So, but anyway, you guys, thanks so much for the discussion. I know I got some ideas and I'm feeling much more prepared for my fall. And so.
I want to go back and watch this. So Karen, post the link to the recording.
I sure will.
Please.
I sure will. All right.
And tomorrow night in Christie's follow-up, I still
Yes.
have the rest, but if you could get her host coaching bundle.
Oh, yes. And, and I'm actually surprised she didn't share that, but I'll text her about that.
Yeah.
I did
And she
talk
has-
to her about that. She does not do project broadcast.
No,
She does.
Oh, she might not do it for host coaching.
She uses Connection Point.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
So-
they do host coaching, but I haven't figured out how it does it.
Yeah, I haven't done my host coaching on Connection Point, but if we can get the bundle code, I could download it.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we can see what it looks like.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
That's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
We'll work on that. I'll message her about that.
And what's it called? What's the point? What is it called?
connection point? And
Connection point.
and again, it's like she said, Kathy, I did post that video to watch with her table 101.
Okay.
And she does use Connection
Didn't
Point,
see
and
that.
she does use Project Broadcast, but before she did those, she did it all manually, and she said it really is not that big of a deal once you just get yourself into the routine. So don't
Okay.
feel like, I don't want you to complicate it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna keep it simple, and that's what she talked about too, keeping it simple.
Well,
Okay.
and you can use the same things she uses in her Connection Point in Project Broadcast, but you could still use, it's not, you don't have to change your method.
Right.
I'm curious about the words she uses, so.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I like I say, I want to know what people do every day. What is happening today? What do you do today? And what are you looking for? So it would be helpful all the way around.
I'm curious if she's using keywords in Project Broadcast. Like, I like that she offers to invite for people, because then she's got them all in there, but I'm wondering, like, how does she keep track of who to re-talk to again, you know what I mean? Like, if she
She gives
uses,
them a tag. She does a tag for each host.
right, but then the people within there, so like if she invited 50 people for the host, only 49 ordered or whatever, is she still reaching out to everybody every day? Do you know what I mean?
She
Or
could
just
have
the
it
people that,
She could have it set up so that if they reply, they get taken out of the campaign.
that's what I'm asking. Like, I'm like trying to, that's what I would like to know from her, is like a
Yeah.
little more detail on how she's using her project broadcast with those.
She didn't mention anything like that, but it's a good question for her. Yeah, Lynn, you know how to do that. That would be great. All right, guys, let's go take a quick break and come back and watch Home Kitchen Live.
All right.
Sound good?
Yep.
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Later.
Have a good night.
Thank you,
too.
Karen.
Thank
Thank you.
you.